Good morning, bro. So I used to believe that in order to lose all of the fat or most of the fat that I had on my body, that I would need to do cardio and run like every single day, every morning, get up at like 5 a.m., do like 5 miles, and then get back home and do all this extra stuff. I didn't realize that you could lose a lot of weight just by adjusting your diet. Literally just adjusting your diet. I wouldn't even have to do cardio, which, I mean, I completely suggest you do cardio. But honestly, in my first 2 years of self-improvement and bettering my body, I didn't even do cardio like that much, probably once a week, not even. And I didn't start getting into cardio until probably about a year ago. I started running seriously, and even then I was only running 2 or 3 times a week at that point. Now I try to run every day, and so I lost most of my weight, not from running, not even close. I just went on a caloric deficit and I went to the gym. And of course the gym was burning some extra calories. Even if you are completely inactive, which I don't suggest, you can lose weight. Even if you're sitting around at home all day, which I completely don't suggest, don't do it. Because you're gonna lose the weight, but you're gonna have no muscle under it. And like the whole point of losing the weight is to look leaner and to look to make your muscles pop out and to look better overall. So if you don't have the muscle there, there's like no point of doing it. But I went on a caloric deficit. I was eating between 1,600 and 1,800 calories per day for like 5 or 6 months. I lost 50 pounds in those 5 or 6 months, which is almost 10 pounds per month, which is like 2-3 pounds per week. And during that time, I didn't really understand. It kind of surprised me because I didn't understand earlier that you could just go on a caloric deficit. No matter what you're doing, as long as you're in a caloric deficit, you will lose weight. That's all that's required is caloric deficit. And what that means is you eat less food than you burn in energy. That's all that means. And so I was tracking my calories, eating, like I said, between 16 and 1,800 calories. Lost those 50 pounds in the 6 months. I got to that, to around 160 pounds. And I was actually planning to get down to 155 because I didn't look shredded. So I was like, oh, if I keep cutting, I'll look shredded. I'll look shredded. And then I realized there needs to be muscle under to look lean, to look shredded. So from that point on, I went on a pretty dirty bulk. I bulked to like 180 in another 6 months or so. And yeah, I was eating like not good food. It was high in protein, but it was like, it still had all these like ingredients, bad ingredients, highly processed, but it was high protein. So yeah, that's the food I ate. And then I got up to around 180, cut again to 170. And then I maintained for probably 4 or 5 months. And then I went onto a lean bulk, which is what I'm on now. And the lean bulk is like 2 pounds per month, maybe 3. But I maintain. The reason I know it's a lean bulk is because I gained like 8 pounds so far, but I still managed to maintain my abs, my 6-pack. And so that's kind of my gauge, how lean my bulk really is. So yeah, right now I'm on a lean bulk. Pretty soon I'm gonna go back into a cut, probably get around 180, 175. But I wanna make sure I have the mass under so that when I do cut, the muscles look big, they look defined. And so early on, I didn't even know what bulking and cutting was. I just wanted to lose weight because I was 210 pounds. I looked pretty fat. So I did all those things, the caloric deficit. I wasn't running a lot, honestly, just caloric deficit and weightlifting. And I was lifting weights probably 4 or 5 times a week, which actually now I lift weights pretty much every day except for Sunday. So I take a rest day. And now I do cardio too. The reason I do cardio now, it's not for losing weight, not at all. It's just for the health benefits. And it's also for discipline because I hate cardio. Oh my goodness, I hate cardio, but I still try to do it every single day. And I was never really good at cardio. I was never like good at running long distance. And so I have to force myself to do it. When I do force myself to do it, it gives me a lot more discipline because I'm forcing myself. Like David Goggins, callousing the mind, doing the things that you hate, but you know are good for you. And you keep doing them. And then eventually your mind just becomes callous. Doing that thing becomes easier. Your mind has been through already so much of that pain that it's pretty much numb to it at that point. These dogs, bro. If you are looking to cut a lot of weight and you don't want to do it the hardest, longest way possible, and you don't want to do it in a way that you're going to quit easily. If I was doing cardio every day at the start of my weight loss journey, I probably would have quit, especially when I was 210 pounds. If I was doing cardio every day and running 1-2 miles a day, which now that's easy for me, back then I could barely run 100 yards. If that's what I started with and I tried to do it every day, I probably would have quit within 2 weeks and I would have never gotten to the point where I'm today because I would think that I didn't have what it takes to get to this point. So if you're trying to lose weight and you've tried before and you've done some weird program that requires you to do cardio every day, you're gonna lose weight, to do this every day, you're gonna lose weight. If you want just the basic fundamentals, okay, the basic fundamentals of losing weight is calorie deficit. If you're burning more energy than you consume, that's how you lose weight. And that is the single easiest way to lose the weight. Now, if you go on a calorie deficit, which it's not hard, you get a calorie counting app, you put your weight in, you put your height in, you put your body specifics in, and then you just track what you eat throughout the day. Okay. After you do that, I recommend that you do some sort of gym workouts. Okay, if you don't like gym workouts and you actually do enjoy running, go ahead, do your running. I hated running personally, I hated cardio. I still do to this day, but I do it anyway. To me, the gym was just, it was easier. To me, it wasn't as demanding physically, but it still required me to develop the muscle, required me to burn those extra calories throughout the day. And it made me feel a lot more productive. It made me feel like I was doing a lot more. And to be honest, I was, because before I would just sit and play video games for the day. But now it opened up my world to progressive overload, to pushing my limits, to working every day consistently to see results. And then I would see results over time, and that reinforced the belief that if I keep going, I'm gonna keep getting stronger and stronger. And from that point on, I just did. I got stronger and stronger, kept going to the gym over and over again. So that's why, for me personally, I liked going to the gym instead of doing some cardio. And of course, after you get consistent in the gym, after you get consistent in cardio, whatever it is, you can add on to the things that you put into the basket, right? But the first thing we need to get consistent is the calorie deficit. That's the first thing we put into the basket, right? So let's say we had a basket of our abilities, right? And in order to, this is the basket that if we fill it, it achieves the body we want, the habits we want. If I put in anything else besides calorie deficit into this basket first, it's gonna slow me down. So the first thing I need to get consistent is the calorie deficit. Okay, it doesn't have to be a huge calorie deficit. If it's 200 calories per day that you're, for example, if I need 2,000 calories per day and I do 1,800, I eat 1,800 every day. Per week, that's what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 1,400 calories per week. Per month, that's like a pound, I believe, maybe 2 pounds, I'm not exactly sure. Over 2 years, that's 24 pounds. It adds up. And so that calorie deficit is definitely the most important thing we can add to that basket if we want to lose weight. After we have the calorie deficit in there, we can start adding the gym, put it in the basket. Cardio, put it in the basket. Calisthenics, put it in the basket. And all these, maybe swimming, put it in the basket. Bicycling, whatever it is you like to do, bro. But as long as the first thing is that calorie deficit, then you're gonna be on the right track for losing weight. Another thing is when you are on that calorie deficit, at first it's gonna seem like there's like no progress being made. You might actually even gain weight, like I did when I first started, and I started counting my calories. I actually gained some weight, not because, I mean, at the time I didn't know this. I just thought I was gaining weight for no reason. But I was gaining weight not because of what I was eating, but because in order to make myself feel more full, I was drinking a lot more water. And so my weight actually went up initially when I was counting calories. And I was weighing myself like every day to see if it was working because I was like obsessed. When you're counting calories, I don't recommend you weigh yourself every single day. I recommend it once a week because that will help you see the longer term progress. Maybe even once a month. That will help you to think of it in a longer term versus getting on the scale every day, tracking it every day. And when you weigh yourself at the same time every day without eating, right? So I recommend just right in the morning when you wake up, weigh yourself. Don't drink, don't eat, just weigh yourself first. That way you get an accurate reading because a lot of people, they'll weigh themselves one day in the morning when they're really light. In the morning, you're generally more light because your body was metabolizing all the food. Your waste is going to be gone. You lost water throughout your sleep through breathing. And especially after using the bathroom, your weight's going to be a lot lower than normal, right? It's going to be your body pretty much on empty, right? Empty stomach, but your body's lighter in the morning, generally, right? If you had a huge meal the day before, probably not. But if you used the bathroom the night before, you slept, and you woke up, you're going to be lighter. Versus after eating 3 meals or 2 meals, or however many meals you eat throughout the day, and drinking, hydrating, and all that, by the end of the day, that's going to be like your highest weight. Your lowest weight is going to be in the morning. Generally, your highest weight is going to be in the evening because you've eaten all that food, you're drinking water, you kept yourself hydrated throughout the day. So a lot of people like me, when I used to do this, I would weigh myself one day in the morning, and then a few days later, I'd weigh myself in the evening, and then I'd see I gained like 3 pounds in that time. And it wasn't because I actually gained weight. It was because in the morning, right, that morning, the day before I barely ate, or not that I barely ate, but the day before I was on my calorie deficit, whatever, and then I used the bathroom the night before, and then I went to sleep, and then I woke up that next morning pretty much dehydrated because when you wake up in the morning, your body it's not dehydrated, but it's less hydrated than, I mean, think about this. You're breathing out water right now, right? There's some fluids that are leaving throughout our mouths. Your body loses a lot of that water weight, right? And so you wake up in the morning and you generally, like me, I want a glass of water because I'm thirsty. That's because I lost water throughout the night, just from breathing. So that morning I would be really light, and then 3 days later I'd eat all my meals and everything, and then I'd go to weigh myself after drinking a bunch of water, after going to the gym, and then drinking more water, and then eating my protein, whatever. I'd go to scale myself and I'd gain like 2-3 pounds, and then I thought I was actually gaining weight when in reality it was water weight and my food that was still digesting, that hadn't exited my body. And so I thought, like, there's no use, I had all these negative thoughts. I mean, I still kept going because I had no option, right? It messed with me sometimes when I would see you can ask my family about it too. It messed with me sometimes when I would go on the scale and I'd see the different weights because I wasn't weighing in consistently. And then even when you do weigh in consistently, your weight's gonna go up and down, but generally, if you're doing your calorie counting and you're doing everything right, it should kind of it's not gonna look like this. It's not gonna get down every single time, right? It's not gonna be a perfect straight line going downwards. If you put it on a graph, it should be more like this, right? Like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then you lose weight over time. Sometimes you're heavier, sometimes you're lighter, but the average is gonna start going down over time, of course. So that's why I really recommend when you do weigh yourself, you pick the same time every single day, and you don't weigh yourself every day either. You weigh yourself in the morning, maybe once or twice a week, so that you're more focused on long term. And even if you don't lose a lot of weight initially, the fact that you're calorie counting is awesome. The fact that you're conscious about what you're eating is awesome. And even if you relapse, even if you have cheat days, whatever, if you mess up on your diet, you miss the gym, the fact that now you're aware of it and that's the standard is good. That means there's progress being made. The fact that you are aware of what you're eating, that you're aware that it's bad, that in and of itself, even if you don't lose any weight initially, the fact that you are eating food and you're like, this is not good for me, why am I eating it? Knowing that is going to help you. In this video, that's all I'm going to cover for today. Apparently you guys liked the last video, so I want to make more videos like this just purely on my experience and helping you as much as I possibly can. And I don't want to really go through like a read script. Like a lot of times I'd have a script, I'd memorize it, and then I'd look at the camera and read it. I don't want to, well, we'll see how it pans out. But I think these videos, you guys can relate to me more personally than just me reading off a script. And I can give you, I feel like I can provide you more value this way also. Make sure if you haven't already and you're new to the channel, you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. And remember, you deserve the consequences of your actions. No matter what, keep going. My name's Justin. Peace out.